Welcome back to Ryan Jacobson Weather. I appreciate all you guys stopping by. Let's get right into the forecast for today. It's currently Sunday, March 16th. This is around 10:30 a.m. And as you can see, we have this large weather system continuing to impact portions of the U.S. as it's now moved into the east and is going to be bringing severe thunderstorms to the portions of the northeast and mid-Atlantic today. And we'll go a little bit more in depth on that in a second. But after today, it looks like our severe weather threat is going to be over for a little bit across the U.S. As it's been a very active last 2 days with tornado outbreaks, you could say, the last 2 days, with over a couple dozen tornadoes already been surveyed. So, pretty active weather, but it looks like this is the final day before we can get some rest across the U.S. So this is the day one outlook, and as you can see for today, there is a chance for an enhanced risk of severe weather today across portions of Pennsylvania and even a little sliver of New York. You do not see an enhanced risk for severe weather in New York State in March. That's pretty rare to see. And this is going to be driven by a 30% chance of damaging winds within a 25-mile area of any point in that 30% enhanced risk. That's going to be the greatest threat for today is damaging straight line winds. There also is a minor hail risk today, just a 5% risk across portions of Virginia all the way down to Tampa Bay area in Florida. And there is also a 5% chance for seeing some tornadoes today. Again, it's a lower chance, nothing like what we saw the last 2 days, but there's a possibility for a few spin-up tornadoes, basically from all the way from Buffalo, New York, all the way to Tampa. So a large area could see the possibility of a spin-up tornado or two, but like I said, nothing is expected like what we saw the other day. My plan is once this severe weather threat is over today, my plan is to make a video tomorrow or Tuesday kind of talking about the expectations versus reality of this event. I'm going to just recap the event and show what was expected to what actually occurred. And we'll go over the storm reports and stuff like that. So expect that video the next day or two, just kind of recapping this major severe weather outbreak over the last few days as a whole. So this is current. This is the current radar right now. Here's those lines of storms continuing across Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. These are going to continue through the afternoon hours here today and going into this evening. And like I said, there is a potential for any of these storms that are discrete could produce maybe an isolated tornado, but the Torcon values are nothing like what we saw yesterday. These are going to continue here, and there may even be a second round that develops this evening into the overnight hours. Again, going to bring a minimal severe weather risk with that, though. And they will eventually all move off the coast by Monday morning, and that severe weather threat will be over across the U.S. This is a current look right now at the Mid-Atlantic region, and you can see there's going to be some lines of storms that develop here going over the next couple of hours. And our greatest threat for severe weather, surprisingly, across Pennsylvania and West Virginia, going eastward here. You can see these storms are going to fire off here very shortly. And these are going to turn into a line of thunderstorms impacting areas along in Pennsylvania and even upstate New York. Could see some strong thunderstorms this afternoon with the potential for a few damaging straight line wind gusts possible. And this is going to continue to the east. You'll see some other bands of thunderstorms develop. These all look pretty linear, just kind of straight line damaging wind gusts would be the big severe weather threat. And then this will continue into the overnight hours tonight. And eventually the rain will be off the coast by Monday morning. It could be a little bit prolonged, I guess, in areas right along the around the coast, as a weak low pressure system is expected to develop this evening. But by Monday mid-morning into the afternoon hours, it looks like all the severe weather and rain is going to be done across the U.S. Here's your Torcon values for today. And again, nothing like what we saw the last couple of days, but there could be some isolated spots that maybe see Torcons of a 2 or even a 3 across portions of North Carolina and South Carolina today. So be weather aware if you're in those areas, those places across South and North Carolina look like they have the greatest shot at seeing a potential for some tornadoes. And even up here in Pennsylvania, maybe we'll see Torcon values of a 1, maybe up to a 2 expected. But again, the risk is going to be pretty limited for today. And then that severe weather risk for tornadoes will wind down by this evening. Here's the total precipitation behind the storm. And some of these thunderstorms could be heavier today. This is going through the afternoon hours into the evening tonight. And some of these, like I said, some of these thunderstorms could bring some decently heavy rain across portions. This is going to tomorrow afternoon, and this is going into tomorrow evening. So once this storm system finally gets all the way off the coast, there could be a couple of spots that see isolated amounts, maybe up to 4 inches of rain. So be careful. There is a minimal risk for flooding today, but again, nothing crazy. But if there's some thunderstorms that kind of train, we could see some widespread rain and some heavy rain in some areas right along the coast. Look at this. Portions of Virginia and maybe even Maryland could see rainfall totals exceeding 4 inches today. So just be weather aware. There could be some minor flooding in areas that see some excessive rainfall from these thunderstorms today. So you're probably wondering what's going to happen after the storm moves off the coast. What are we expecting next? And you can see there's those thunderstorms today. This is going into tomorrow, and you can see there is going to be some cooler air that kind of falls back into place here behind the storm system. There may be even some scattered snow showers across upstate New York tomorrow, as highs are only expected to reach around 40 degrees tomorrow. But that cold air is not going to last long. This is going to Tuesday morning here, and you can see that warm air is pushing right back in across most of the U.S. The next potential storm that we're watching is going to develop Tuesday going into Wednesday across the west. Could bring a decent amount of snow to portions in the Rockies and the high mountainous terrain. And then 985 millibar pressure system. This is early Wednesday morning here. This could be our next storm. We could see the potential for maybe a major snowstorm on the northern side of this low. We're going to watch this closely over the next couple of days. But look at this. The GFS is painting a decent amount of snow here across portions of southern Minnesota and northern Wisconsin. Again, this is all going to change over the next few days, but GFS is highlighting the potential for some heavy snow from the system. And then after this, looks like probably another cool down across the Northeast and Midwest. And then this is going to next weekend. Take everything with a grain of salt beyond this point, but we are watching the potential for another winter storm and maybe even a little bit of severe weather going into the middle of this next week. I thank you guys all for stopping by. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Continue to just keep checking back for daily updates. I'll update you guys on the weather ahead expected for the U.S. And also be ready for that video that I'll be posting either tomorrow or Tuesday, talking about expectations versus reality, just recapping this whole large-scale severe weather outbreak that we've experienced over the last couple of days. Again, appreciate all you guys stopping by. Feel free to like and subscribe. I appreciate all you guys that have been subscribing recently. It means a lot to me. And I will see you guys all soon. Have a good one.